All right. Thank you so much, Erica, for meeting with me this morning, or actually this afternoon now. Um, we had chatted a little bit about your experience in the title world. And I told you a little bit about a job that I'm hiring for, and we were both talking about what skills that you have that are transferable to that position. And there's quite a few. So, what I would love to do is talk about how you manage processes, from start to finish. So, first of all, why don't you tell me a little bit about you and the work that you've been doing, and then I'll ask you a few questions.
Okay. You want me to talk about my fidelity position? Because that was my longest position.
Absolutely. How long were you there?
2097 to 2022.
Oh wow, long time. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Great company.
tell me a little bit about. So, I will preface. You were living somewhere else doing that, and then you moved here.
Correct. I was in Portland,
Okay,
Oregon.
from
Yep.
Portland. Okay, so tell me about what your day looked like there.
Pretty much you get into the office and you have to actually, I had everything organized. So the day before, I'd have everything organized for the next day. So you get everything done, like your disbursements, your title clearing, everything was organized by date. So I had all my files organized by date of priority, what was coming first, what was going to be closing. So you have to have everything ready and to close. Contacting buyers and sellers, having payoffs in, all that, everything has got to be dialed in. Balancing with the lenders. I mean, the file honestly has to be put together from the beginning when you open it until the end. So you open it in the beginning, you do what you've got to do in the middle to clear everything. It's tagged for what date it needs to be closed by, and you go by that. So everything was tagged, organized by date, and kept in touch with clients to keep them updated as well of what was going on. So that was pretty much the gist of it. Disbursements, we had a huge account back in the day. We were doing about 100 fundings a day. And I was actually the funding manager because I'd go in on the weekends and just get everything organized and ready to go. So, I mean, that's the most important thing. If you've got it ready, you walk in, it's ready. So everything day before, weekend before, doesn't matter, but you have to have everything prioritized by date.
Okay. So, you were like a liaison, I know, between buyer, seller, and then everyone else.
Lenders, brokers, realtors. Yep.
Yeah, even probably the taxes, like the tax office to find out the
Oh, absolutely.
taxes.
Oh, that was huge. That's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, insurance companies.
We were dealing with this a big account we worked with primarily was every state except for like Texas and a couple of the attorney states like Carolina, Georgia. I mean, yeah. So, but we had to have everything organized, and you call. I mean, you got to get a hold of the taxes are the biggest thing because that's the biggest liability. Because some of them are like you've got like community taxes, you got township taxes. I mean, so yeah, it's all about the details.
Yeah, it sounds it. Something you did mention that I want to just focus on for just a moment. You talked high volume, and you almost lit up when you said that. So, is that something that you thrive on in an office where there is high volume, or do you kind of like it slow and steady?
No, high volume is great because it makes your day go by real fast.
Okay.
It keeps you on your toes and just you keep going and going. If you don't have that, I mean, you're just sitting there and like, a couple files all day.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's just boring.
So, I mean, I think it goes without saying that you've got a lot of multitasking.
Lots of multitasking across the board. Yep.
So I have one other final question for this part of the interview. We have some other things to talk about too, but being in the title industry for 22 years, and you did do something in title here in Florida when you moved here. The big question that someone would obviously have for you, and I'd be remiss not asking you is, why the change? And you did tell me before, so, feel free to tell me that again, and maybe expand on that a little bit.
Moving down here to Florida, like I said, 2 years, remote with my company because they called me up and they wanted me back. And I'm like, okay, I'll work with you. Just a different kind of change because being in title and escrow, it's extremely stressful at times because you're dealing with property and money and people. And you have to kind of be like their therapist and just kind of bring them down to your level. I'm looking just for a different little bit of a change. I mean, I've done it, I know it, but I'm like, maybe there's something else out there I can do and just help out and experience something new. So
now there was something else that you mentioned to me that, anyone that, is up to speed on what's going on in the market and such. Did some of that stress, was that added by, the ups and downs in the market? Is that stressful for job security?
yes, yeah. Honestly, there's the ebb and flow, like I said, with the market. When we're up and hot, you're on fire. You're just pumping it out. When it slows down, though, in the industry, they tend to look at numbers and employees and they kind of lay some people off because they don't need as many, but then they'll call them back in when it kicks back up.
Sure.
So I never got laid off. I saw a lot of co-employees that got let go, and it was really sad. It was really sad over the years because it's like some of them were like single moms and stuff. And that's kind of why I actually, another reason kind of why I left when it started to slow down. It's like, my husband's working, we're fine. We sold our house, we had money, no big deal. And it's just like somebody else can use this more than me, a single mom or something. So it's tough when you see that and it happens.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously you're at the point now that you're looking for a job. You need to get back to work. So
get back in the industry, get back in the flow and get back with people again. Yeah.
And then you mentioned something else that I wanted to point out again is that you want to be in office. You did do some remote, but you said you are used to being in the office. So can you?
It doesn't really matter. I mean, I love the office. I can do remote, but then you're stuck at home all the time. It's like, I mean, it's great being home, but it's like, you want to get out there and meet people and help people and, participate.
And you have clothes. You want to wear your clothes is what you said earlier.
I do want to wear my clothes. I got some really nice clothes.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I love going out and seeing clients. I'm like, oh, okay. Get to get a little dressed up today. All right. Well, Erika, I'm going to go ahead and stop this part of the interview, but don't go anywhere. We've got a few more things to chat about.